welcome to the video version of the Naughty But Nice show. Delana and I did one of these videos a couple of weeks ago and it got a ton of responses. So thank you everybody for watching. Hey Delana, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. So we talk for about 10, 15 minutes, the biggest stories of the week, some exclusives that you might not have heard before. I think the biggest story of the week, Misty, is Diddy. We have to jump in on this. I think it was quite a shocking verdict yesterday. I think a lot of people assumed he was going to go down for maybe life. That's not the case. I hear people are disappointed here, but let me point out, he has now two federal charges. They do together hold about 10 years each in jail. So that's potentially 20 years. We know he's not going to get anywhere near that. But the big question I'm being asked all week, everywhere I go, Misty, is could he have a comeback? Now, I think sadly, yes. I think if you saw those fans outside the courthouse slathering themselves in baby oil, I think that's a real indication that a lot of people out there think very differently about this trial than we do. And that's a lot of fans. That's a lot of potential people to buy your music, your clothes, your stuff. What do you think, Mystique? Could he have a comeback?
Well, I think a lot of people are still in shock over the verdict. I mean, you deal with the New York state law, you think they're going to win their case. They usually, when they go and they do a case like that, they're only thinking we're doing this because we can win. And
Mhm.
what's really interesting is that he's still in jail. So the judge denied him getting out of jail right away. So he has to stay there, I believe, until September until he's sentenced. Could he have a comeback? A lot of people don't feel that he did a crime. And if they don't feel that he committed a crime, yes, it might have been debaucherous. It might have been something that you don't do on a your basis. Yes, we know he was accused of taking people across state lines for prostitution. But if that doesn't bother you and you love his music, you love his cocktails and his alcohol, then yes. Now, do I think it could happen immediately? Maybe he needs a little bit of time. And you could speak more to this because you actually were his publicist. So you can say, how would Diddy handle this? Is he going to take time off or is he going to be like, the day he gets out of jail, he's like, I am back. Actually, I believe he probably would say, I'm back within 20 minutes.
He's back already. He's thinking about this 24 hours a day. He's in that cell all by himself. And so he's thinking about reinvention. I'll predict that Diddy will use this as a martyr moment. This is going to be a massive moment. Often they tell you in publicity, in celebrity, to lean in to your weakness. And so something that should be embarrassing, something that should be not spoken about. Celebrities don't do that. They lean into it. I think he's going to paint himself as the guy that beat the system. They were after him. The feds were after him, and he won. That's very powerful to a lot of people out there, particularly people who do not have a lot of faith in the criminal justice system. And so he's a really smart marketer. Now, will he ever get back on the Today Show or Good Morning America, or those big shows? No, but you don't need to anymore. More people now can watch you on TikTok or on social media on YouTube than can watch you on morning shows. And so he has millions of followers. And let's be honest, Misty, we've spoke about this before. A dirty little secret about the music business and most of the entertainment business is that the only thing that matters is money. If
Mm.
he makes money, if people buy his stuff, if he makes money for folks, he will be back. He'll probably never be back at the Met Ball. I can't see Anna Wintour ever inviting him back there. But I think there is unfortunately a future for Diddy. And if all else fails, Miss D, I'm sure he will endorse baby oil. Mm.
Yeah, I think that's the case. He's going to have to go a little underground. You're probably not going to get all those invitations to these top tier or national broadcasting because we still have that video where he was beating his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and you cannot deny that.
Mm.
We saw it in living color. My question is, will he go on any type of mea culpa for the things that he was charged with and say, I didn't think that it was this way. I don't believe that I didn't think that I was engaging in prostitution, or he'll just be like, I've been vindicated. I need to say nothing.
It's a good question. I asked a few, I thought it myself last night, and so I called a few people who know Diddy much better than even I do, and they said he's shameless. And they wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't open a women's center or a place for battered domestic abuse. And as shocking as that sounds today, you can see him cutting that ribbon. You can see it a year from now. The Diddy Center for battered people, for battered women. He's that shameless. And I think we've seen it in politics. We've certainly seen it in entertainment. Being shameless, Mr. D, allows you to lean into stuff that you probably shouldn't touch at all. But I don't think he'll have a revelation. I don't think he'll ever feel like, you know what, I did something terrible. I'm a terrible person. We're not there. In fact, the opposite. Because he got off the most serious charges, the charges that he could have been put away in jail for the rest of his life, he's going to feel empowered. And when you empower a bully, that behavior often doesn't change. It is something that they lean into. So I'm frightened about what we're going to see next from Puff, but I do know he's not going away.
Oh, I think he needs to read your book, The Four-Word Answer, and learn how to be a better person. Let's learn from this. And I would hope that he says, "Oh, I've had this experience. It was horrible, but I hope to be a better man past this." Now, if he ever throws another party, I mean, I would just be shocked. But people don't learn their lessons, and especially when they seem to get off, they double down. So we'll have to wait and see. But we
Question.
have 2 months to decide what his sentencing will be.
Yeah, I think he's going to go away. I was talking to some lawyers last night. Oh, do you know who I met last night? The
Hmm,
Punisher, the sex worker in the video. I know. I met the
my
Punisher last night, who's going to try and use this as an opportunity to sell more of his products, whatever that product might be. I can imagine we know how he.
punish me tea for when you just want to double down and relax.
There's
I
going
don't
to be a
know.
whole cottage business of these quasi celebrities from the trial. Although, let's be honest and just base it into something really deep for a moment. My heart breaks for Cassie. I had a new report today on Substack that she's doubled down on her security. She has the money now to do so, $30 million, but nevertheless, she shouldn't feel like she has to. And I think we saw during the trial what Diddy is capable of if he feels you have wronged him. We saw from his own lawyers' mouths that he could be a very violent person. We all saw the Cassie tape when she tried to get away. People that say, why didn't she try to get away? I say, she did. We saw her trying to get away on video, and look how that ended. And so Cassie at the moment has security guards. I imagine they're going to follow her around for quite a bit. Cassie's the story here. She was so brave, so courageous. If this story has a hero, it's certainly Cassie.
Yes, and I just want to say for young people out there who we realize that you're young and you're still learning about life and tend to sometimes get themselves involved with people that maybe don't have their best interest. If Diddy comes to you and says, "I can make you a star," this is one person you just need to go, "You know what? Nah, I'm good. Just
I'm good.
I'm past this one by." There are many other ways to get ahead, and if you read Rob Shooter's book, he's got some great advice on how to make it happen.
You're the best. Stop plugging me. I'm going to blush. Okay, moving along. What have you got, Misty? What have you been working on this week?
Oh, so as you know, it's a really big week because Jurassic World Rebirth came out. And if
Hmm.
you've seen the movie, Mahershala Ali is in it. And he's looking a little bit more beefed up than usual. I mean, my man got ripped. So I sat down with him for Ebony magazine and I asked him, like, how did you get beefed up? What did you do? And he actually said, because the movie was shot in Thailand, that he ate a lot of Thai food and did push-ups. Okay, that's all he did. All right, all right. So he did add something else. He said it was more of a mental move. I mean, we know him from his two-time Oscar-winning films where he plays these deep stories, complex about the Black experience. For this character, he wanted to bring something different to the table. Duncan Kincaid, a pirate, he's a sage, he's a sweetheart. So he got some muscles on. And of course, I had to ask him, what do you do if you find yourself face to face with a T-Rex? And he laughed. He's like, I don't know, run.
What's it like interviewing him? Was he fun to interview him? Did you sit down with him? Was
Yes,
it a phone
yes,
or
I
everything?
did. So I arrived at the hotel that it happened at, got off on the floor, the doors opened, and I was taken aback because they had transformed the entire floor into Jurassic World. So there were basically it was a whole jungle. It was music playing or jungle sounds in the background. Oh, I got to speak to Jonathan Bailey. Oh, Fiero.
Is he that delicious in person? What's he like in person?
Yeah, so I was walking by as they were getting ready to do an interview, and he looked at me and he said, "Well, hello." And I was like, "Oh, it's it's Fiero." So the whole cast was there. Got a chance to speak to them all. And I actually went to the premiere party as well. And if
Oh,
you remember, this was the first day of the week that it was super hot, about 2 weeks
oh
ago. And
yes.
of course, they had it outside. So even though it was an incredible party, we were all a little sweaty, I will say.
Oh, I bet you looked fantastic. And the movie's on track to be a blockbuster. I think I saw some early numbers of last night and it did about $30 million. They think this movie over the holiday weekend is going to do about $150 million. I love a Jurassic Park. I think I've watched them all. Okay, quickly before we end our show, I was going to say go to break, but no, this is going to be the end of the show. Quickly before we go to the end of the show, Jeff Bezos, everybody is asking what's going to happen now with Lauren Sanchez, Mrs. Bezos. She's changed her name on her social media. I hit the phones to see what will her life be like now, and I got a really interesting response. One of the associates, one source close to Jeff and now Lauren, said that she could be one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. Don't forget, Jeff Bezos bought the James Bond franchise. Now,
Mm.
do I think Lauren Sanchez will be a Bond girl? Maybe her husband's writing the checks and she certainly likes publicity, but I think that's probably unrealistic. It might happen. But what I do know is that she's going to have her hand in picking the next James Bond. Her husband owns the franchise. They're looking for a new actor, a new Bond, Jonathan Bailey. Hello, hello, hello. And so now, if you want this part, Hollywood, if you're listening, hello, 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 get your agent, or even better, do it yourself. Agents are hopeless. Do it yourself. Pick up a phone, call Lauren Sanchez, and get a dinner date with her. She's going to be in charge of Bond. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe. I'm still trying to get over some of the outfits that she wore. So her style and my style are very different, though I know that I'm also wearing a little bit of lace today. Yeah, so I hope she saw F1 the movie because there's a young actor named Danson Idris. Everybody's talking about him and thinking that maybe he could be the next Bond, and we haven't had a Bond of color yet. So it could
No.
be an amazing experience for him. He's young, he's handsome, he's on the up and rising.
Yeah.
I mean, he just did a movie with Brad Pitt, so you know he's A-list status. So he should definitely get on the phone. I know his people get on the phone with us all the time, so they should be getting on the phone with Lauren Sanchez. I don't have that kind of power.
You
But
do.
I also think, does she want to work? I mean, you don't have to. You could just keep going to the gym. Maybe she'll go into fashion. I mean, she does have her own style, not my style, like I said, but
Oh,
maybe she wants to create her own line. A
oh,
lot of ways to
yeah.
go. Or she could just sit on the Riviera, or as I did in Marabella, Spain 2 weeks ago, and just enjoy herself. That might be what I'd do for a year before I went to work.
I've got nothing to say that's going to top that. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. We're really going to try and do these once a week. I love doing them, Misty. It feels so natural. This is what we would be doing tonight if we were at Bottino's or a
Of
bar.
course.
Have a vodka in front of us. You'd have a prosecco, I think, and we'd sit there and gossip about all our favorite celebrities for hours and hours and hours. So, welcome into our little drinks on Fridays. Good to see you.
Bye bye.